Hello, welcome to Michelle Sews again. I'm Michelle. It's Friday, so you know what that means. It is hashtag Friday Sews. Thank you very much to the lovely Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this hashtag. It is a fabulous way for the sewing community to kind of get to know each other a little better. If you follow the hashtag or do a search in the search bar on YouTube, you will see a lot of sewists participating in this hashtag, and basically the general theme is that everybody kind of talks about things that they've made for the week, plans that they have coming up for sewing or other crafts that they may do, as well as a little bit about life. So that's what I'm gonna talk about today. If that sounds interesting to you, then please hang out with me. Thanks so much. All right, so what have I made this week? Absolutely nothing. So we were out of town last weekend, and I'll get into that at the end when I talk a little bit about life. And then work has just been kind of busy, and you know, life gets in the way. So it doesn't mean that I haven't been working on stuff, I just haven't made anything. So what I've been working on is I sorted my scrap pile. So if you recall, a couple months ago, I took all of my scraps and I sorted them into two bins. I had one bin that ended up with like the bigger usable scraps, and then I had one bin that was the smaller, like little bitty pieces, bits and pieces that I'm going to continue to fill, and that's what I'm going to use to eventually at some point make one of those closet core poofs. But then the bin with the bigger pieces, I thought I could use them for some kind of a patchwork or, you know, color blocking or pattern mixing kind of a garment. So the impetus for this is if you watch one of my favorite or follow one of my favorite accounts over on Instagram, Sew Over 50, they have a challenge going on for the month of August. It's hashtag Sew 50 Sustainable Sewing. And I just did a video on all of the sewing challenges that are up in August, and I'll link to that up here somewhere. And if you want to check that out. But they have a challenge going on for August that is all about sustainable sewing. And the idea behind it is to use fabrics from your stash, or use thrifted fabrics, or things from around your house that you're not using, like old pillows, or even like old garments that you're not using anymore that you were gonna take to Goodwill, maybe cut them up and use them to make something new. So I went through my fabric scrap bin of the bigger pieces, and I put them into piles, and I had posted like a little short video on my Instagram page. I kind of broke them into kind of color stories, and I had a pink and coral one, I had a purple one, I had a red, white, and kind of bluish one, and then I had a green story. And the feedback that I got, a lot of people loved the pink and coral, which of course, I love pink and coral, obviously. I actually loved all the piles. So the chances of more than one of these getting made into something new is very high. But there was one comment that stood out to me that resonated with me, and it was, she basically said, I love the pinks and corals, but that's what you do all the time, which is true. She said, I would love to see something in the greens. And I thought, you know what? So would I. So that's what I picked. So what I did this week is, although I haven't made anything with them, I took all of the pieces, and these were in a bunch of different pieces. It wasn't like one big piece of fabric for any of these colors. So I took all the little bits and pieces and I cut them up into 2-inch strips. I've got the solid green. It's kind of a chartreuse, or yeah, a bright green. I've got this striped green. It's not dirty, it just has a little piece of fuzz. I've got this striped green, and these are all cottons. And I've got this fun batik green. And then I've got my, my fun floral that I used for my Nova midi dress that I thought worked really well with those three. So this one will be like something different with every piece. So let's see, what do these look like together? I've got the green, and these things are hard to hold up together. And this. I think that's gonna make something really cool looking. And I cut these into 2-inch strips because I was intending to do something kind of different and cool, and we'll see if I end up doing that. I think I might have been overly ambitious because I'm not skilled. It was kind of a quilting technique. I was gonna do all of those in diamond shapes and just make a new fabric in diamond shapes. I think that's gonna be a little more technically advanced than I am right now, because I was looking at some different YouTube videos, and in order to get all the corners to match up, you've got to do some offsetting, and I don't know if I'm prepared for that yet. So that remains to be seen. It's likely that these will end up sewn as strips, which I think will also still be cool. We'll see. Kim Gaddy, Andra, do either of you have any recommended? Do you think I can do this, the diamonds? You guys are quilters, you can let me know. All right, so that's one thing that I did. And then knitting, I got some more work done on my fabulous abacus shawl. So last week I didn't show you where I was, but I was somewhere in this neighborhood where I just had about that much done last week. And this is kind of what I've been spending my time on this week, just because at the end of the day, I just needed to sit on the couch and relax. So this is how much I've gotten done. Sorry for all the extra yarns hanging out. But this is how much I've gotten done this week. So what I think is cool about this pattern is it's got these, it's hard to see in this fabric, but it's got this cool eyelet pattern. Along the edge, every section increases the eyelet count. So section 1 only had 1 eyelet. Section 2 has 2 eyelets. Section 3, you start adding some color and it's got 3 eyelets. And eventually this is going to, I'm gonna start merging like a multicolor yarn in the middle, and then it'll kind of go the opposite direction. So the middle will have this multicolor alternated with the green, and then a section of the multicolor, and then it'll start alternating with the multicolor will start alternating with the purple. I don't remember. Anyway, there'll be some alternating, and then I'm pretty sure the other end ends with the green. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's gonna be cool. This is the one that I had started a few years ago, and I had gotten more than halfway, but when I got past the halfway mark, I noticed that I had gone awry somewhere, and I had put it away. It's been put away for at least 2 years, so the frustration of ripping out something that I had worked so hard on was past, because it was almost like I was starting from scratch. So I ripped the whole thing out because it was a mess, and I started over. And because one of the things is I learned that I was doing the yarn overs wrong. So I watched a video, I learned how to do the yarn overs, because this is a really basic pattern. It's literally just a garter stitch, which is nothing but a knit stitch, and then the eyelets are a yarn over. So there's a pattern to it in terms of repeats and stuff, but it's a fairly simple, for someone who I've been knitting for 30 years, but I've only ever done really basic stuff like scarves and ponchos and things like that. And I can do, and I've done a couple of sweaters, but they've been super straightforward. I can do knit and purl stitches. I can do increasing and decreasing, but I've never really done a lot of intricate stitches. So the yarn over was new for me. and I was doing it wrong. And so I learned how to do it the right way, and I was interested in doing something that was not overly complicated, but that was outside of just the basic straight stuff that I'd been doing. So I'm excited to see how this comes together, especially now that I'm kind of paying attention to what I'm doing. So that's what I've worked on this week. Then I've also done some purchases this week. I bought a few patterns. I'm not going to talk about those because I'm going to put them in my pattern stash videos that I'm going to continue to do. In fact, I'm going to work on part 2 of the tops video this weekend. I'm going to work really hard on prepping and making it more concise so that it's not nearly as long. In fact, I want it to be about half as long as the first episode in the series. So I'm going to work on that this weekend. And I also bought some fabric. So I have some more fabric coming, so I'll talk about that in Friday Sews as they arrive, but this is what I've got so far. So these first 2 pieces of fabric I bought from a seller on Etsy. I don't remember the name, so I'll put it up on the screen, but they're both supposedly Ankara fabrics. I'm not 100% sure if that's accurate. My experience so far with Ankaras is that the print is pretty vibrant on both sides of the fabric. This first one, that's not the case, which is why I question it, but maybe it's just because I'm not educated in Ankara fabrics. And this one, when I got it, it was not 100% what I expected. I'm not unhappy with it, but it does kind of dim my excitement about it a smidge. So I'll just preface it by saying I love sparkly, shiny things. For some reason, it's not working for me in this fabric. So I bought this. I love the combination of the pink and the red. Love, love, love it. I love the design on it. I love that like starburst design. And you can see like it's a really fantastic fabric. What I don't love, because I thought that those starbursts, I thought they were just yellow. They're actually like a gold glitter. I don't know if you can see that or not. So that's the part that I'm not in love with. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So I got 2 yards of that, and I love the pink in this. It's really bright. I love it. So I'll make something and I'll be happy with it. But that's one. The second one, I think probably is Ankara because the print goes all the way through, and I absolutely love the middle of this fabric. I love this pattern. I think it's really cool. Like it's something different that, you know, I usually do florals, and this is just, it's a geometric pattern. I love the colors. I like the base of it is yellow because I don't do a lot of yellow, but it's still got that pop of pink. It's got some turquoise in it. It's got like a green. I don't know if you can see like that center. It just kind of radiates out from like a dark turquoise to a medium to a green. And I love that. What I wasn't expecting, I don't recall seeing this in the image on the website when I made the purchase. I don't love the black border. So I'm not sure if I'll use that part or not. We'll see. It's just, I don't know. I don't love that part of it. I love the middle part of it. Love, love, love it. So I'm excited about that. And we'll see. I don't have plans for either one of those just yet. All right, so then these next 3 fabrics I got from Stylemaker Fabrics. And I have plans for 2 of them, but not the third one. This first one will surprise you guys because it's a solid, but it's a beautiful, like bright green. I love this color. This is a linen, and it's just, I've already washed it, obviously. I haven't ironed any of these. They're just washed, but it's like I don't know if this is a lightweight or a midweight. I feel like it's a lightweight linen. I love this color so much, and I have some grand plans for this. So it's going to be a pattern from Pattern Fantastique, and it's gonna be the Merce's dress, which as soon as I saw that pattern, I was like, I need that, because it's got, well, I'll put a picture up so you'll see. It's got the big, huge, voluminous sleeves. It's got a really nice V-neck, and the V-neck is in front and back. And I believe the description says that the V-neck in the back is deeper than the V-neck in the front. But they were careful to place the V-neck so that you could still wear a bra, which is important. And then it's just a shift dress from there. So I love this dress. I love this pattern. I love this fabric paired with that. I think it's going to be gorgeous. And then I don't know if I'll end up doing it. I think I will, just because it sounds fun. Did any of you watch Laverne and Shirley? You know how Laverne had an L on every single thing that she wore? I'm going to embroider some kind of a really pretty, I'm thinking a floral kind of design, M on somewhere in this, I don't know which side, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Mark my words. Okay. This second pattern is kind of like a twill, or fabric, and it's not my usual colors. They're a little more dull than I usually get, but it is still colorful. It's just duller versus bright. But I love this pattern. I love, I'm trying not to have everything be big, bold, bright florals, because that's what I'm naturally drawn to. So I love the colors in this. I love the blues and the greens and the purples, and I love the design of it. So I don't have plans for this one yet. And I don't know if you can see inside the middle of the purple are little like gold dots. So yeah, I like this fabric a lot. I love the colors. Don't know what I'm gonna do with it. If you have any recommendations, let me know. Okay, this next fabric. So I'll link it here. I did a review on the Valley, also from Pattern Fantastique. I've only made it as a top so far, but after I made that top, I knew I wanted to make the dress. So I've been searching for the right, like flowy kind of fabric, because I feel like as a dress, I didn't want it in anything that was too stiff or structured. I wanted the skirt of it to be swishy. So I found this fabric from Stylemaker Fabrics. I forget what it is. It looks like it's a gauze. Can you see that? I've washed it, so it's kind of wrinkly right now, but this orchid color, it just makes my heart sing. And I feel like this is a color that can be worn in either spring or fall. And if you look real close, you can see it's got obviously the orchid color purple base, but then the flowers and the leaves have like this turquoise color. There's some pinks in there. There's different shades of purple and green. Oh, and it's so swishy. It's like the perfect fabric for that dress, and I cannot wait. I can't wait. Okay, so then the next piece of fabric, it's right up my alley. You guys are gonna know this is so me. And I thought I had a plan for this, but once I got the fabric, it's too stiff for what I wanted to do, but I still love the fabric. I love the print. I wish that I had gotten it in a different base. So, I don't know if you're aware, but on Joann's website, they have an option. They have fabric options for customizable prints. It's very similar to Spoonflower. There's not nearly as many choices as Spoonflower, but I had seen this print on Etsy many months ago, and the woman was sold out. And when I did a search for it, I saw that it came originally from Joann's, but Joann's was also sold out, and I was heartbroken. So I've periodically done searches for this fabric for the past several months, and finally it popped up on Joann's website again in their customizable fabric section, which was fantastic because it allowed me to like I expanded so what you can do on their customizable section, if you haven't done it already, is they show you the print, and then you can change up like the repeat, you can change up the scale, you can change, the repeats are neat because you can either have it be like all equal, so like, you know, they can like just repeat row, you know, section after section, or you can offset them so that it like almost looks pixelated. What I did was I made it as big as possible, as few repeats as possible, because I just wanted the print to shine. Is that not the most gorgeous collection of colors you've ever seen? Oh my gosh. So the description of this fabric is called, I think, paint pour. If you've ever watched any of those like kind of mesmerizing art videos where somebody is like mixing acrylic paints in a cup, and then they put a canvas on top and flip it over and pull the cup up, and then the paint just kind of pours over the canvas, and it makes these like really like almost oil slick kind of looking designs. That's what this is. Oh my God, I love it so much. Anyway, so the other part of the customizable fabric is you can choose your fabric base. I chose cotton sateen because the description said that it had very lovely drape for apparel patterns. That's a lie. So I am disappointed in the texture of the fabric. It's something that I can use. I mean, to me, it's along the lines of a twill. It doesn't have any, it's very crisp. It's very structured. It doesn't have drape. They lied. I wish that I had linen, like a lightweight linen was also an option. I wish that I had gotten it in that fabric because that would have been perfect for the pattern that I had decided to use this for. I wanted to use this for the chalk and notch Marcel dress. I thought that would be super cool. This is way too stiff for that. So I don't know what I'm gonna use this for. I really wanna use it for something that I'm gonna want to wear all the time, because I don't want this to just sit in my closet because I love it so much. I love it. Yeah, so look at all those colors. Oh my God, I can't get over it. I can't get over it. All right, so that's all the fabric that I bought this week. And then I sent some patterns to PDF Plotting. I sent them on Tuesday, I think, and I got the shipping notice on Wednesday. So I expect them to show up either today or tomorrow. All right, so that's about it sewing wise. What do I have? Well, no, it's not. So what I have planned to work on this coming week, again, I did my challenges video a couple of days ago, and that's basically what I have planned to work on this week. I'm gonna do my Sew My Birthday. I have the pattern picked out. It is a shift, well, kind of I found a pattern on Etsy. I'm gonna show the inspiration shot up here. It's a Twiggy, well, the design is Mary Quant, who was apparently a huge designer back in the year that I was born. I've heard of her because there was a dress going around with like a little Peter Pan collar, big on Instagram a few months ago. I hadn't heard of her before that, but she came up a lot when I was searching for patterns from 1966. And so this pattern's not exactly that, but I think I can make some adjustments to get there. And this is the pattern. So it's just a basic A-line shift dress. And I think I'll just add some big self-covered buttons down the middle of the front, and that's close enough for me. I don't know what fabric I'm going to use yet, but the only thing I don't love about this is I had to print the PDF pattern. It says it came in AO, but that file didn't come through. It's only, I think it's 20-ish pages to put together. Not my favorite thing to do, but not horrible either. So I've got the Sew My Birthday challenge planned for this week. I've got the Sew Your Name challenge planned for this week. I'm still narrowing down my pattern for that. So that may bleed into next week. And then I've got my Sew 50 Sustainable Sewing Challenge planned, which is what these 2-inch strips of fabric are for. And then I'm gonna work more on my knitting, and my sewing room is a hot mess right now. So I need to clean that up before I do anything, because I like working in chaos, makes me crazy. All right, so then life. All right, so we went house shopping last weekend, which was an interesting experience. As two grown-ups well into our 50s, neither one of us, as I mentioned last time, have ever owned a house. So we met with a couple of different people, and they were actually both builders, and we got very educated, and we thought we had done some research. We thought we knew what to expect, and it's just so much more complicated when you're on the coast of a huge body of water, because there's a lot of things that you've got to take into consideration that you might not somewhere else. So buying a lot of land, you've got to think about, depending on the city that you are going to, you've got to think about protected wildlife that might be burrowed into the lot. It affects where you can build and how far out you can build and things like that. So we're still trying, we've got some time. So the fact that we started our journey is good. It also educated us on the expenses that come along. We thought we knew what to expect, but there's even more that we didn't know about. So I've really got to reel in my fabric and pattern purchases. So with that said, I've created a very small monthly budget for fabric and patterns that I am going to be sticking to. So I'm not going to have huge fabric or pattern hauls for quite some time. So I've got a few things that are left to come in, and once those come in, I'm probably going to be, I'm thinking no more than 4 patterns or 4 pieces of fabric a month, if that, which is a lot less than what I normally do. So so that's about it for me. The house shopping is interesting, it's fun, and I think that we're going to end up building versus buying something that's already made. We like the idea of being able to, get everything exactly the way that we want it, because more than likely it's going to be our forever home. It's going to be what we end up retiring in, so it might as well be everything the way that we want it. So yeah, that's about it. I would love to hear your thoughts on anything that I talked about today. Are you participating in any of the challenges? What are your thoughts on my fabric purchases? Do you have any ideas for what I can do with the pieces that I don't have plans for? Yeah, let me know. Wherever you are, I hope that you are having fantastic weather and that you're able to get some sewing in. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.